Forget everything you know about what a house is supposed to look like. The architects behind today's homes clearly did, and we're all better off for it. Fitting a massive, airy sanctuary into a dense urban grid requires architectural genius. Spanning 520 square meters, the RH29 house in Flux achieves exactly that through its bold concrete architecture. Its masterpiece status comes from its revolutionary fluid layout, where solid geometric volumes shift to create a continuous flow of space. A spectacular central void and a sweeping sculptural staircase banish all cramped city vibes, seamlessly opening up the vertical volume. RH29 proves that an urban concrete fortress can feel entirely limitless, full of light, and beautifully connected from within. From the street, this home looks like a futuristic grass dome with a keyhole cutout. Spanning 550 square meters, this subterranean property completely redefines underground living. A unique entrance corridor drops you into a sunken, double-height living space flooded with natural light through massive floor-to-ceiling glass. The architectural genius lies in the layout, featuring a gallery landing that doubles as an office and a master bedroom looking up through a frosted roof cutout. Complete with a hidden woodland drum shed, it turns a concrete bunker into a bright, ultra-private heaven. Most architects fight gravity, but this one pretended it doesn't exist. Perched on a hilltop, M House appears to float above its own plot, the trick being a 6-meter cantilever that shelters parking for 3 cars directly underneath. The result is a clean, minimalist volume hovering above the landscape, with floor-to-ceiling glazing pulling panoramic views into every room. Bedroom and bathroom are oriented for maximum elevation advantage. From below, you're staring at the underside of a house, and from inside, you're king of the hill. Someone looked at an old Victorian water tower in Higher Clovelly and thought, perfect family home. The result is 400 square meters of circular living space across 3 floors, featured on grand designs and perched high enough to see Cornwall, Dartmoor, and Bedford Bay all at once. 360 degrees of countryside, 0 neighbors at eye level. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a kind of kitchen dining sitting room on the top floor that makes every meal feel like a rooftop event. The tower shape isn't a quirk. That's the whole point. Architect Ramon Esteva stretched a classic gabled roof 52 meters across a vineyard plot in Fontanar del Alforín, Spain, to create this 415 square meter countryside masterpiece. The result is a pure white concrete shell, 50 centimeters thick, that's technically 1 story, and manages to hide the living room, bedroom, kitchen, and several pine-clad boxes inside it without breaking the roofline once. The house blurs so completely into the vine and forest edge that it's basically camouflage. Plus, it was shortlisted at the 2018 World Architecture Festival. Dan and Nina Rowland of Studio Fuse saw a 1930s house next to a stagnant pond and removed 500 tons of sludge from the bottom of it to build their dream. The result is 2 Siberian larch-clad structures connected by a glass link floating over a natural swimming pond. The kitchen overhangs the water, so you can dive straight in from the deck. Triple-height ceilings anchor the dining area between 2 volumes. Ground source heat pump, photovoltaic panels, SIP's construction. Grand Designs Chichester, Sussex Heritage Trust Residential Award 2022. That's a swamp turned into heaven. This is what happens when you build a carbon-neutral home in Ned Kelly country and refuse to apologize for any of it. Robert Harwood Architects spent 4 years completing this 700 square meter house on a rocky Victorian hilltop using Corten steel, ICF blocks, and SIPS panels, materials chosen to match the red oxide of the surrounding soil and anchor the building thermally. The result looks like it grew out of the granite boulders scattered across the site. Some of those boulders are still inside, as the house literally incorporated them. Solar panels generate 32 kilowatts. Even the Grand Designs Australia premiered their 8th season with it. The winding mountain paths leading to local chapels inspired architect Fran Silvestre, so he built a house that switchbacks exactly like one. Casa Sabater in Alicante, Spain, navigates its hillside in 3 interlocking volumes that zigzag across a 780 square meter site, threading through existing trees instead of removing them. The upper floor holds 5 bedrooms with sea views above the treetops. The middle level opens to the garden and pool. Down below, a wine cellar, pool basin, and storage. These are different levels, but one continuous idea. WE Architecture stretched a Nordic-Japanese A-frame across 52 meters of Danish wetland in northern Zealand and built the whole thing from reclaimed Copenhagen cobblestones and old wood salvaged from demolition sites. The result is one of the longest private A-frame houses in existence, sitting low in the marshland like it grew there. Inside, the open wooden structure blurs the line between interior and the surrounding landscape so thoroughly that you're never quite sure which side of the glass you're really on. A zero-waste design principle turned into a genuine architectural beauty. On Mykonos, the hills are UNESCO protected. Wild goats roam free. And A31 Architecture's Amasya residence fits into it all so naturally, the goats apparently didn't notice a 920 square meter villa was built right next to them. Designed by Traxelis Condias from sculpted stone, low-carbon concrete, and local granite, the home anchors itself to the island with a 62-meter retaining wall that reads more like geology than construction. Rooftop gardens blur the line between roof and landscape. But the real showstopper is inside, a massive boulder suspended at the entrance via a hidden steel plate beneath a skylight, casting shadows that shift with the sun. It's raw nature, but precision engineered. Every house in the Valencia countryside has a gabled roof. Ramon Esteva took the idea and fractured it into multiple volumes, each with its own single-slope roof pointing a different direction, so the familiar becomes something you've never seen before. The 650 square meter result sits on a hill above a rural town, organized around a central courtyard that anchors all the pieces together. Terraces and covered porches emerge naturally where the volumes shift apart. It's like a village where only one person lives, familiar enough to make you feel right at home, yet unique enough to keep your eyes glued to the roofline. When every wall is a window, the mountain becomes the interior design. This Beverly Hills luxury residence clings to its mountainside with an almost entirely glazed facade. Panoramic views so relentless that privacy feels like a distant concept. Spread across multiple levels, the home includes a designer-renovated living room with a full bar, a private gym, a cinema room, a multi-car garage, and several bedrooms, each framing a different slice of horizon. The kitchen? Also a view. The bathroom? Obviously. You don't live in this house. You live in the landscape. Mee van der Rohe was handed the brief, "Build me a weekend retreat," and returned with a manifesto. Completed in 1951 near the Fox River, 89 kilometers from Chicago, The Farnsworth House is 140 square meters of steel and glass, elevated 1.6 meters above the floodplain on 8 white steel columns. No solid walls, just 2 horizontal planes, floor and ceiling, with glass in between. It's less a house, more a proof that less is more won the debate. Moreover, it has been a National Historic Landmark since 2006. Tucked away in Spain's most exclusive gated community, this La Zagaleta mega villa redefines mountainside opulence. Spanning 1,858 square meters, this masterpiece is carved directly into a steep hillside. The standout feature is its mind-blowing subterranean layout, an ultra-luxury garage that flows seamlessly into an indoor pool, a private spa, and a state-of-the-art cinema room. Outside, a massive infinity pool melts into views of the Mediterranean. It balances heavy structural engineering with delicate, open-glass facades, offering a billionaire's unparalleled lifestyle hidden inside a lush mountain fortress. Most architects see a ravine and think, it's a problem. Dan Brunn saw a ravine and thought, it's a foundation, as his bridge house in Los Angeles spans a small underground creek using a prefabricated bone structure steel frame, 61 meters long, built with the precision of a Swiss watch. The result is a 418 square meter residence that crosses the water rather than avoiding it, with a natural feature framed below like a living exhibit. Concrete footings anchor each end. Everything in between is air, glass, and structural steel. That's how nature gets to keep the stream, and you get an unbeatable living room view. Architect Mechanu's glass house in the Cotswolds landed on the lake and decided to stay. Designed by Dutch firm Mechanu, this glass villa at the Lakes Bayou near Le Schlade sits partially submerged in its private lake. The basement floor is literally underwater. Above it, 4 bedrooms and floor-to-ceiling glass walls look out over water from every angle. A glass-roofed central atrium floods all 3 levels with light. The roof terrace floats above the lake like a lily pad. Inside, a 9-seat cinema, Harvey a sauna, full-sized snooker table. It even won the Plan Award 2019. So the lake got the best neighbor it's ever had. You arrive by road through dual security gates and a winding driveway through manicured, topiarized ficus. Or by helicopter, landing on the estate's own helipad. That's the upper ridgeline of Cooroy Mountain on 6.5 hectares, where Stonaleah sits 1,916 square meters across 2 levels with cathedral ceilings, a dual stone fireplace wall, parquetry floors, a 2,000-bottle wine cellar, a Tylo steam room, a private lift, and a wet edge heated pool facing north toward Noosa in the Coral Reef. 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and 14 garages. It's listed at $15.5 million, voted one of Queensland's top 10 homes by the Courier Mail, and it shows. The only way onto this estate is by a private funicular, the only one on California's entire Big Sur coastline. Bien Sur spans 17.4 hectares, including 7.7 waterfront hectares atop Pacific cliffs. The 235 square meter mid-century modern main house was built in 1971 and has never been allowed to be replicated. Today's building codes prohibit construction this close to the water. 3 bedrooms, 180-degree Pacific views, cedar walls, exposed beams, and a staircase from the house down to a private cobblestone beach. It's listed at $21.5 million. Irreplaceable, and the seller knows it. High above the jungle canopy of Nosara, Costa Rica, Ensui House bends the rules of traditional design. This 464 square meter luxury retreat stands out as a masterpiece because of its radical, sweeping crescent shape. Architecturally engineered to follow the natural contours of the high ridge, the half-moon layout ensures that every single room captures an uninterrupted panoramic view of the Pacific Ocean. Built with raw concrete and warm local woods, the home opens up completely to the sea breezes, seamlessly blurring the line between indoor luxury and wild tropical paradise. Architect Guy Dreer treated a desert hilltop as raw sculptural material rather than a foundation. Perched high above the Coachella Valley, the 1,920 square meter Summit Mirage Estate features overlapping copper and titanium panels mirroring the rugged terrain. Retractable glass walls entirely erase the barrier between the luxury interior and cascading asymmetrical pools. But the ultimate masterpiece element? You reach the dining room through an incredible aquarium tunnel complete with live, rare sharks. Named Ultimate Home of the Year, this $62 million fortress is a peak design drama, and the shark does not negotiate. Building on a cliff is tough, but building inside one is pure genius. Spanning 360 square meters, Encaved House is carved directly into a rocky hillside. Its masterpiece status comes from its revolutionary earth-sheltered construction. A three-dimensional grid of stone walls protects the villa from the harsh Aegean winds, while rendering it almost invisible from above. The slope dictates a step layout, creating private, sun-drenched courtyards that open up to endless sea views. It is an underground fortress that replaces dark bunkers with bright, high-end cliffside luxury. The company took a seemingly viewless plot of land and completely flipped conventional layout logic on its head. Built in Rio's hot climate as a deeply personal sanctuary for a client, this house unlocks unexpected ocean vistas by literally turning the traditional floor plan upside down. The main living space and the entire swimming pool are elevated to the upper floor, transforming a blind sight into a panoramic vantage point. Massive sliding glass walls completely dissolve the boundaries between the interior and the deck, while a lush, low-maintenance garden by landscape designer Orsini frames the property. It is a stunning masterclass in upside-down luxury. They literally buried this 255 square meter home under Big Sur's hillside at California's Copper Point, then seeded the grass roof with native wildflowers. The result is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house that vanishes into the 44-hectare coastal estate when viewed from outside. Inside, massive glass walls deliver 161-kilometer views north and south across the Pacific simultaneously. Solar panels and an on-site well keep it off-grid entirely. One of Mickey Munich's final projects before the architect's death, and it's basically a James Bond villain's den, if James Bond cared about native plant ecology. Palm Beach has exactly one private island, and this is it. The 0.9-hectare man-made retreat sits entirely surrounded by intracoastal waterway, connected to civilization by a single picturesque bridge, and absolutely nothing else. Inside the 2-story mansion, 11 bedrooms and 2,660 square meters of renovated space, a 30-meter lakefront pool with a built-in cold plunge, a jet pool, and a lighted tennis court. It sold in 2024 for $150 million. And the neighbor's view from the south? Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Not bad for an address with exactly one resident. Turkey's answer to what's the largest pool that could reasonably still be called a pool? 400 square meters of water, complete with a fire pit zone, cascading waterfalls, and a hammam on the property. The 8+2 layout means 8 bedrooms and 2 separate living rooms, which is basically a small hotel that answers only to you. A full smart home system controls the lot, and the sauna sits indoors for the days you want warmth without negotiating the pool. Overkill? Only if you're not the one living there. The mines are long gone on New Zealand's Coromandel Peninsula, but Croissant architects decided to reference them anyway by inverting the shape of a mine shaft and placing it on top of a house. The result is Like Mine, 3 reclaimed swamp totara-clad volumes on a beachfront lot, each topped with a sculptural pyramidal skylight that channels sunlight, and at night, starlight and the Milky Way directly into the rooms below. Each shaft is a different height and angle, tracking the sun across the day. Outside, there's weathered coastal timber, and inside, warm, highly crafted light timber. So the gold rush isn't over here. An architect and a textile entrepreneur bought a crumbling stone ruin on the hills above Biella, Italy, and asked, what if the old masonry walls became the base for something made entirely of glass? And the answer is Teca House, an 80-square-meter transparent container hovering above Piedmont's valleys across 3 floors. Its original stonework forming the foundation while everything above it disappears into the landscape. The sliding glass walls open completely, extending the footprint by another 50 square meters and dissolving the boundary between structure and hillside entirely. Reasonable enough to be exhibited at the Venice Architecture Biennale 2018. 20 minutes from Halifax, perched above Halibut Bay on 8,120 square meters of private Atlantic coastline, this house refuses to pretend walls are necessary. A double-height window wall replaces the entire ocean-facing facade. Behind it, a 2-story wood-burning fireplace, a 4.6-meter waterfall kitchen island, and views of the Halifax shipping lanes from every room. The primary suite opens directly to the outdoor air above the water. On the grounds, a natural stream, a waterfall, and a private swimming hole carved into the rock. Listed at $1,995,000 Canadian, Nova Scotia apparently forgot to tell anyone it had houses like this. The only way in is by boat or helicopter, because once you've seen this infinity pool perched on a Caribbean hilltop, you'll understand why they don't want traffic. Rainbow House sits atop a 0.5-hectare ridge in the Atlantic Ridge neighborhood of Oil Nut Bay, BVI. But its genius move? A green roof that blends so perfectly into the hillside, the villa practically vanishes from the outside. Inside, you can find a soaking tub, outdoor shower, exercise room, and ocean views that make any other real house feel like a serious design failure. Someone in Cheshire bought a derelict 130-year-old Grade 2 listed water tower in 1997 and spent 7 years turning it into a home. The result won 11 awards, including the Daily Telegraph's Overall Home of the Year 2005 and a REBA Award in 2006. Ellis Williams Architects wrapped the octagonal stone tower's base in a futuristic double-height glass extension that could plausibly double as a Bond villain's lair. From inside, fields and woodland at ground level, and views stretching to Manchester, Liverpool, Wales, and Derbyshire from the top. There's also a hot tub on the roof. Yeah, of course there is. Off-grid, on a cliff, and with its own private swimming cove, this Banks Peninsula retreat was designed to capture light and thermal energy without any of it looking forced. Winner of Bach of the Year 2017 Eco category, it had 2 Super King bedrooms with uninterrupted sea views over Pigeon Bay, copper and industrial accents inside, 2 fireplaces for winter, and an outdoor bathtub under the stars for summer. The nearest neighbor is the ocean. and the nearest problem is convincing yourself to leave. From the street, 3 exposed concrete forms offer absolutely nothing. No windows, no entry, no clue. That's entirely the point. Completed by Kirchhoff Architekten on a forested 3,000 square meter plot, Villa Neo spans 484 square meters and operates on pure architectural contradiction. The L-shaped ground floor is sealed to the street, but dissolves entirely toward the forest through floor-to-ceiling glass, flooding the interior with daylight. Above it, a twisted concrete body hovers, while massive steel blades wrap the glass and physically connect the levels. And while you are enjoying the forest, the street sees nothing. You know how a big tree casts a shadow and everything underneath it just feels better? Franz Silvestre Arquitectos built an entire house around that idea. Set in front of the Soto Grande golf course in Andalusia, this 705 square meter villa uses a massive cantilevered roof as its defining architectural feature to block the intense Cadiz sun and shield against heavy rainfall. This design innovation creates a beautifully sheltered outdoor living zone, while a warm wooden interior handles the rest, establishing a fluid layout where the light shifts all day long and the shadow moves with it. This home holds an elevated position with unobstructed panoramic views of Lake Wakatipu and the Remarkables mountain range from every single room. That's the whole architectural thesis. Earn the view, then refuse to waste a single window on anything else. The 253 square meter home on a 675 square meter plot splits its levels with purpose. A full floor dedicated entirely to living, dining, and entertaining, with a private bedroom wing occupying the upper level. Native landscaping, spa, and multiple outdoor spaces complete what the agents accurately call an architectural icon. What looks like a Cycladic village from the outside is actually a single villa built directly into the island's natural bedrock. Designed by award-winning architect Tassi Zepos of Zege Architects, Lithos residence spans 1,342 square meters across 3 levels on a 5,342 square meter plot. 10 bedroom suites, a 175 square meter infinity pool aimed straight at the Aegean Sea, a cinema, gym, and fully automated lighting and climate systems throughout. Plus, the master suite takes the entire 3rd floor. It looks like a sealed gray box with almost no windows, rough stucco walls, and zero desire to explain itself. But step through the gate and it completely changes character. Mono, designed by Hanul on a 688 square meter plot with 198 square meters of living space, is a single-story courtyard home built around 3 outdoor pockets of gravel, volcanic stone, and pine trees. Every room faces inward. The LDK area uses a subtle floor-level shift to separate the kitchen from living without a wall in sight, and the gray palette holds inside and out. The name says it all. This house was built for one thing: quiet. The drone view tells it all. A sprawling $1.5 million Medellin mansion where the indoor living rooms don't end so much as dissolve into the lawn. Floor-to-ceiling glazing runs the entire length of the main facade, erasing the line between interior and terrace entirely. Inside, the open-plan layout moves from a light-flooded living room through a chef's kitchen to a billiard room and bedrooms, each space bigger than most people's entire apartments. It's not a house that tries to impress. It's a house that doesn't have to try. Built on a narrow, elongated plot in Girona, Spain, this 410 square meter linear monolith by Franz Silvestre Arquitectos is a true spatial masterpiece. it holds a legendary title, Europe's very first well-certified single-family home. Every single detail is engineered around human health, from advanced reverse osmosis water filtration to circadian lighting and antimicrobial surfaces. The ground floor living zones face the open golf landscape, while the upper night area is cleverly shifted to create a massive covered terrace with zero immediate supports. The healthiest house in Europe is an architectural marvel, looking exactly like this. Hidden inside the Nature's Valley Nature Reserve, Emerald Ravine was designed from the start to vanish. Timber and natural materials let it settle quietly into the forest canopy, while the plunge pool, yoga terrace, and hammock ensure you have exactly zero excuses to leave. The kitchen is fully equipped, both bedrooms are ready, and the surrounding reserve does the rest. Birdsong instead of notifications, trees instead of walls, and the kind of silence most people pay good money to briefly find. It's completely off-grid and completely worth it. 30 minutes from Austin, a 4-story geodesic dome rises from the lakeside trees like something that landed there on purpose. At 325 square meters, it sleeps 12 across cleverly stacked levels, a pop culture lounge and guest suite in the basement, retro white-tiled kitchen with farmhouse sink on the main floor, bedrooms climbing through the 3rd level to a primary suite with dual walk-ins and a black and white ensuite. The wraparound veranda has a tree growing straight through the deck. But the cherry on top is that the rooftop delivers 360-degree views over Lake Travis. Set on a secluded, oak-studded hillside, each of this house's rooms operates as its own independent structure with its own geometry, material expression, and relationship to light, arranged around a central courtyard, with circular moving between volumes rather than through them. A balcony juts over a pond fed by a waterfall and stream, home to frogs, migrating birds, and bass that have drifted in from a neighboring pond. An elevated walkway connects the main house to a guest suite that doubles as an office. Brick masonry, scaffolded metal staircases, and wooden windows across 318 square meters. Spatially complex, but surprisingly livable. Exposed concrete and stone gabion walls filled with crushed stone reference the surrounding rock garden at this home in Slovakia. The 416 square meter house is arranged in a Y-shaped plan, with 3 wings extending outward at 120-degree angles, carefully positioned to avoid existing trees and divide the plot into smaller garden segments. The southwest wing holds the main suite with a bedroom, walk-in wardrobe, sauna bathroom, and a terrace with a hot tub facing the stream. A green roof, a greenhouse, a fish pond, and a firewood shed complete the picture. That's the modern architecture that genuinely earns its place in the forest. Villa Solitaire was built as a dynamic representation of boat sails floating above the ground floor, sitting on the highest part of San Vita, the oldest and most prestigious residential area on the island. The 2,300 square meter property on a 4,250 square meter plot offers 7 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 2 pools, and terraces exceeding 2,000 square meters. The basement garage transforms into a nightclub. The rooftop runs an open-air cinema and a jacuzzi. South-facing, floor-to-ceiling glass at ground level, panoramic views over Palma Bay. Listed at 39.5 million euros. Those sales are really moving. Architect Lionel Morrison doesn't build houses. He builds front row seats to the Hermes Mountains. This 282 square meter La Tierra Santa Fe home proves it. Floor-to-ceiling windows with motorized shades, a sleek reflecting pool, and a west-facing patio engineered to catch every sunset. The kitchen goes full professional. double Miele dishwashers and ovens, Thermador induction range, Zephyr wine fridge. 3 bedrooms, all en-suited. The primary suite doubles everything: showers, closets, and water closets, because one is never enough. Solar power, radiant floors, EV charging, it has it all. Picture this: 2 shipping containers and 1 full indoor basketball court between them. The containers handle bedrooms, living, and kitchen. Black painted exterior, white oak columns, statement chandelier inside, leather upholstered cabinet doors, and motorized height adjustable beds that belong in a boutique hotel rather than an Airbnb. The 83 square meters of living space is tight, deliberate, and immaculate. Then you step into the central void, a fully enclosed court with a hoop, 3-point line, and spectator seating. And don't forget about the hot tub, fire pit, and grill out back. Noosa already has stunning properties, but Amar sits above them all, literally. Perched on a ridgeline at 108 Panorama Drive, Dunan, this Paul Clout design creation delivers panoramic views from the Glass House Mountains to the Pacific Ocean, with nothing between you and the horizon. 5 en-suited bedrooms, an infinity pool, private lift, and cantilevered terrace are impressive enough. But then there's the ground level: gym, cinema, climate-controlled wine cellar, and a cedar-lined whiskey room. Plus marble and oak flooring throughout. A $12 million AUD price tag that honestly feels earned. Book Lover's House in British Columbia doesn't just have books on a shelf. It builds the shelf into a circular hallway that wraps around the entire home. The 186 square meter floor plan is oval, inspired by the sweep of the shoreline, with a sunny courtyard at the center contained by the main house and utility buildings. It's fully off-grid. Solar panels power the whole property, while the surrounding natural forest stays untouched. West Coast modern, cedar, and glass, and the kind of layout that makes a quiet afternoon feel like a literary event. Here, architects had a steep, fire-prone eucalyptus hillside about 5 kilometers from the Gold Coast beach. Their response was to stop fighting the site and become part of it. Dark charcoal blockwork and burnished concrete mirror the gray-green canopy, while copper elements are chosen specifically to tarnish, aging into the landscape rather than standing apart from it. The curved form folds along a northeast terrace, creating intimate outdoor pockets within an otherwise linear deck. Solar panels, rainwater harvesting, and fire-resistant materials handle the practical realities. And there's a pool that greets you on arrival like a reflective threshold before the valley and ocean open up beyond. The design brief was emptiness, but product designer Ryosaku Aoki built his Muji house around a central void, a deliberately undefined blank space connecting 3 zones of making: workshop, kitchen, and study. No fixed function, no territorial claim, just room for the day to spill however it needs to. The concept came from a chicken coop on his grandmother's rural property. Stripped bare, it suddenly had better mountain views than anything designed to have them. It was this absence that revealed the whole point. A house works exactly the same way. The less it dictates, the more its inhabitants create. Zivi Architects had a 9-meter by 38-meter plot in Singapore, a road junction on one side and a neighbor on the other. But their decision was to turn the house completely inward. The 3.5-story exterior is a nearly windowless concrete wall, no invitation whatsoever. Inside, a soaring quadruple-volume atrium with breeze block end walls that drive year-round natural ventilation. Perforated metal mesh stairs connect every floor visually. Greenery, filtered light, and dappled shadow create an experience that mirrors being outdoors. The name says it all. A forest that happens to have bedrooms. Here's the problem. A Spanish municipality limited new homes near Valencia to one story with a sloping roof. Architect Fran Silvestra's solution was to make the sloping roof so dramatically arched that it secretly contains a full second floor of bedrooms. The elliptical shell of Casa Balint in Bétera looks like a single-story home from outside, while fitting 6 bedrooms across 3 levels inside. A crescent-shaped pool wraps the perimeter. The glossy crayon solid surface cladding deflects the eye toward the golf course behind it. So, problem? What problem? And that's your dose of architectural envy for the day. If any of these houses made you question your own 4 walls, mission accomplished. Like, subscribe, and we'll do this again soon.